What is going on, guys? Jason Burke here, Styles Clash for Life, coming at you on YouTube, and today I've got some football focus. The NFL draft is all said and done, and I've got videos up for the Pittsburgh Steelers draft reviews. I did a video on round 1, a video on round 2, a video on all the round 3 picks, and a video on the rounds 4 through 7 picks. So if you want the entire draft breakdown of all the players we picked, who are the guys we passed on, who are the guys we reached on, how the guys we have fit into our team, and how it affects the guys that were already on our team. All those videos are up, round 1, 2, 3, and then 4 through 7. Go check all those out on this channel. Today I'm talking about the undrafted free agents that we added. Overall, I give our draft a C-. I think that it is by far the weakest under Omar Khan so far. It's the first one out of his 4 drafts that I've had to question the direction sometimes and see some real reaches and see some guys that don't fit and kind of just question what's going on. That being said, you can't give it entirely a failing grade because they got a starting slot wide receiver they needed desperately. They got a starting guard that's going to be a young guy that's here for the future in Dunker. They got a project guy, but a big giant athlete at tackle who's got a ton of upside, first round upside, to go with the Broderick Jones, Dylan Cook situation to kind of patch that. They drafted a quarterback to add to the room, even though it's not a guy that I like. And they added the best return man in the nation, so they handled their return business. And they also got a replacement for Connor Hayward. So while I don't always agree with the players or the value of those players in this draft, we got a bunch of pieces we needed and filled some spots. So I give it a C- overall, but time will tell how these players play, and I could be wrong about some of these guys. I usually am about some of these guys. So let's talk about the 6 undrafted free agents Pittsburgh added. They missed on some guys that I would have loved to have added. A lot of talent in this draft. I'll talk about the 6 guys overall, tell you kind of what their role is going to be, if they could fit on the roster or not, who they're competing with, and kind of the 3 that I'm more excited about than the others. So first we got Leith Marjan, kicker out of Kansas. He's going to be a camp body. Obviously, Boswell's our guy. Marjan's not making the team unless Boswell gets hurt or something, God forbid. So he's just a camp body. Leith Marjan, kicker out of Kansas. Then we got David Boykin, cornerback out of Indiana. Here's a guy I'm fairly excited about. I have him probably as my, let's say number 2 most excited person on this out of these 6 guys. I'm pretty excited about Boykin. He's got some turnovers. Transferred to Indiana, played for the national championship team last year. Kind of an undersized guy, but not terribly small. He played outside last year, but could transition to the slot in the NFL. A little bit smaller, but like I said, not terribly undersized. Seems like he's around the ball a lot. Had 2 nice picks last year. Had a really nice play where he stripped a guy, forced a fumble, picked it up, ran it back for a touchdown. Seems like he has some pretty good hits. Doesn't mind tackling in the run game and is pretty solid in the pass game from the limited highlights that I saw. So I haven't seen a ton on this guy, but I like what I do see. He's going to be a camp body competing with guys like Kent and guys like the corner we just drafted. It's going to be like Dalen Everett. He's going to be looking for a 6 cornerback spot or a practice squad spot. Probably not going to make the team, but a nice extra added body to push guys like Dante Kent and see who the future on the practice squad could be. Then we have Kevin Jobity Jr. He's another guy that I didn't see a ton on, but I saw a little bit. He's a defensive tackle out of Syracuse. Big body guy. He's inconsistent. It seems like his footwork and his hands are inconsistent, but he does flash on tape. He's made a couple really nice plays that are pretty athletic for a big guy. Does not mind being a hard hitter in the run game. Looks like he's going to be a gap stuffer and a run stuffer, which you need for a D tackle. So again, saw some really nice flashes. Didn't see a lot of consistency. So it's going to be a work in progress. But he's another guy to compete on the defensive line. We also brought back Logan Lee after injury last year. So lots of guys competing on that line. Chances he makes the roster, pretty low, but it's a nice competition for a spot we need more guys in. Then we have Chamon Mateer, tight end out of Arizona State. I'm pretty excited for this guy. He's my number 4 overall in excitement, mostly just because of his size. He is a big Darnell Washington kind of clone. He's like Darnell's son. Real big body guy. Touchdown magnet. I think he had 14 touchdowns in college. The dude's just a big red zone target. Seems like a halfway decent blocker, but doesn't block nearly enough, lines up more in the slot. So he's more of a receiver, but he has kind of some versatility to him. I don't know if he's going to fit on this roster with the tight ends we already have, plus already having Darnell, but I think he's going to be a fun guy to keep an eye on in camp and see if he can make a preseason spot or a practice squad spot. I'm going to save my number one guy for last, but we'll talk about the newest signing here, Dylan Carnell, inside linebacker / safety out of Missouri. Played, looks like mostly linebacker in college, but could transition to safety here. Guy looks like a hitter. Not too sure about his cover skills. Looks like kind of like a blitzing linebacker / box safety kind of guy. Pittsburgh loves those players, so I don't think he's going to make the roster, but he is. I'm really surprised we didn't add a true inside linebacker in this draft with how deep it was and how big the need for the future could be, because I don't think Cole Holcomb or even maybe Patrick Queen, depending on this year, is going to be here all that long and be the future. So I think Peyton Wilson needs another young guy here, and I don't know if Carnell is it, but I thought we'd add an inside linebacker in this draft. Harold Perkins was there in the 7th round. Anyway, my number one guy, the guy I'm most excited about, and the one guy I think has a chance to make this team, is Lake McCree, tight end out of USC. He's long. He's not quite as long or as tall as Mateer, but he's close. He's pretty tall. He's pretty long. He's got really good hands. He's a seam tight end. He works the middle of the field. Pittsburgh has needed middle of the field threats for a long time now. They haven't used the middle for a while. The dude's got really good hands. He has a nice catch radius. He's pretty reliable. He can break some tackles. He's not terribly athletic, but he's pretty quick for a tight end of his size. He's not necessarily what I would call a route runner, but he does get off the line of scrimmage quickly, and he does find himself in the middle of the field pretty well. He can get open a little bit, and he's a good contested catch guy in the middle of the field. Also can extend the boundary and kind of be a tight end screen guy as well. I know we're looking for blockers, and McCree's not really that, but I think a tight end room with Pat Freiermuth, Darnell, and McCree could be a good tight end room to have. I think that McCree flashes on tape a lot more than the guy we drafted at tight end. The guy we drafted obviously is a tight end fullback hybrid who does blocking and different things, so he's the better overall player. But McCree, offensively, in terms of getting open, using the middle of the field, having good hands, I think he's got higher receiving upside. So it depends what the staff is looking for. I think they're looking more for the blocker and kind of chess piece guy. But if they're looking for more of the receiver and more of the vertical downfield threat, I think McCree is the guy, and he's the one guy I'm most excited about that I think could make this team if they're looking for another receiver at the tight end spot. So those are the 6 guys in the undrafted free agency. If there's any more, if anything pops off the list, I'll bring you guys another video. But again, if you want to see my draft coverage, I've got 4 of those videos. I've got this video here, so my draft coverage is now complete. I'll come back to you guys with any news about Aaron Rodgers or any other big signings we might make, and I'll talk to you guys about camp battles pretty soon as we get ready for training camp and rookie camp and see kind of who flashes off the page out of this draft. What do you think of these undrafted free agents? Is there anybody still out there that you would like to see come on in? Tell me in the comments down below, and please like, share, and subscribe these Pittsburgh Steelers deep dives. I get to take a Pittsburgh Steelers break now for a day or two, and maybe I'll see you guys again soon. Go Steelers.